There are moments when life seems to move in circles, when every effort feels like an uphill battle, and yet the summit is never in sight. You've tried, you've worked, you've sacrificed, but it always feels like something is missing. What if the missing link is not outside of you? What if the real key to your success has always been inside you, waiting to be unlocked? There are universal laws that, when understood and applied, can propel you beyond every limitation, transforming your struggles into stepping stones. These laws are not myths or ideals. They are powerful principles, proven over time, that shape the destiny of those who embrace them. You're standing on the edge of a breakthrough, ready to step into a life that is guided by purpose, power, and clarity. Watch till the end, hit subscribe, and remember the real change begins now. The law of unwavering purpose. There is a moment when you realize that no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you push, you are lost. The noise of the world, the distractions, the endless demands, they drown out the voice inside you, the one that whispers your deepest calling. You've felt it, haven't you? That feeling of drifting, of being caught in a current, of doing everything right, yet somehow nothing seems to align. You chase success, you chase fulfillment, but you still feel empty. You feel like you're on a treadmill, running, but getting nowhere. And in that stillness, that aching silence, the truth begins to stir. You've lost sight of your purpose. Purpose is not a mere goal. It is not something to be achieved or checked off a list. Purpose is the very essence of who you are, the silent force that moves you forward when the world feels too loud, too fast, and too chaotic. Without purpose, you are just a leaf tossed about in the wind, subject to the whims of life, unable to create or control your path. But when you find your true purpose, when you connect with that deep, unwavering knowing inside you, you become a force of nature. Suddenly, the world around you shifts. The path ahead, once obscured, begins to light up. But finding that purpose, that's where the real work begins. It's not as simple as writing down a few goals or setting intentions. It's a deep, soul-driven commitment to what you are meant to do, to the life you are meant to live. It requires honesty, brutal, uncomfortable honesty. To find your purpose, you have to strip away the layers of who you've been told to be, of who you think you should be, and connect with the raw truth of who you really are. This is not an easy task. It requires you to face your fears, your doubts, and your deepest insecurity. But it is only through this confrontation that you will find the clarity you need. When you align with your deepest purpose, you step into a flow that is unlike anything you've experienced before. The universe begins to conspire with you. Opportunities you never saw before appear in front of you. The people you need show up at the exact right moment. The challenges you face no longer feel like burdens, but tests that refine you, that sharpen your spirit. You begin to see that everything you've gone through, every struggle, every setback was part of the journey to prepare you for this moment. The key to unlocking all of this is unwavering purpose. Purpose acts as a magnet for everything you need. When you are connected to your true calling, your energy shifts. The actions you take are not half-hearted or scattered. They are purposeful, deliberate, and focused. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to the life you've always known you were meant to live. There's no more doubt, no more wondering. You are certain. You are aligned. And the beauty of this alignment is that it doesn't require perfection. It doesn't require knowing all the answers. It simply requires commitment, the willingness to follow the path. Even when the road is not clear, even when you don't have every answer, when you trust in your purpose, you trust that the universe will meet you halfway, and that every step you take will unfold into exactly what you need at exactly the right time. So ask yourself, what is the true calling of your soul? What is the purpose that will guide you, anchor you, and carry you through every storm that comes your way? You've felt it before, and now it's time to stop ignoring it. Step into that purpose with everything you have and watch as everything begins to align. The world will meet you there, and with each passing moment, you will realize that you were never lost. You were always meant to find this path, and with your unwavering purpose, you will walk it with power and grace. The law of relentless faith. You felt it, haven't you? That moment when fear grips your chest, when every step forward feels like it's dragging you deeper into the unknown. Doubt whispers in your ear, telling you to stop, to turn back, to give up. The weight of uncertainty presses down on you, and the world around you seems to conspire against every effort you make. The road is unclear, the path is shrouded, and it feels like you're walking in the dark. There are times when faith feels like a distant echo, a memory of a time when you believed in something bigger than yourself, but now it seems impossible to hold on to. But here's the raw truth. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is not the absence of doubt. Faith is not simply a hopeful thought. It is the unshakable conviction that even when you can't see the next step, the universe is working on your behalf. It is the quiet strength to keep moving, to keep believing in the face of uncertainty. Faith is the light that guides you when everything else around you is dark. It is the courage to keep walking, not because the way is clear, but because you trust that the steps will appear beneath your feet as you move. In the silence of your fear, in the depths of your doubt, faith calls to you. It is the belief that even when you cannot see how, even when you cannot see the end of the road, there is something greater at work. And when you act from that place of faith, when you step forward despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, you become a force of nature. The challenges that once seemed like insurmountable obstacles begin to shift, to transform. They no longer have the power to stop you. In fact, you begin to see them as the very opportunities that will shape your strength, your character, and your success. Faith is not a passive waiting game. It is an active choice, a decision to keep going, to keep believing even when everything else is telling you to stop. It's the strength to move in the face of fear, to trust in your own purpose when the world tells you to doubt it. Faith is the foundation that transforms everything you do. When you embody it, your actions carry the weight of your deepest belief. Every step you take is a declaration that you are moving in alignment with something greater, that you are trusting in your purpose and your path. And in that trust, everything begins to align. The people, the opportunities, the circumstances. You're not walking this road alone. When you choose faith, you align yourself with the forces of the universe, and you step into a power that will carry you through the darkest moment. Faith turns your doubts into fuel for growth, your fears into stepping stones. It is the courage to act even when you can't see the way, and to keep going when the path is hidden. And when you live with relentless faith, you discover something profound. The universe is not against you. It is working in your favor, guiding you, supporting you, and preparing you for what you are meant to become. So no matter how dark the road may seem, no matter how strong the winds of doubt may blow, remember, faith is not just belief, it's acting on what you believe, trusting that every step will lead you closer to your purpose. And in that trust, you will find the power to transform everything, including yourself. The law of controlled imagination. You see where you want to go, you dream of who you want to be, but in the midst of it all, there's a quiet realization. None of it feels real. Your imagination takes you places, but it also leaves you scattered. The dreams seem too far away, too intangible. You think about them, you feel them, but you struggle to bring them into your reality. They remain like distant stars twinkling in the sky, but forever out of reach. This is the power of imagination, and yet it's not an imagination is a tool, a gift that can either empower or disorient you. When left uncontrolled, it becomes aimless daydreaming, fleeting thoughts that dissipate as quickly as they arrive. You felt this, the sense of being lost in your thoughts, only to realize that the visions you once had of your future seem to fade when you try to ground them in reality. The power of your imagination is not in the dreaming itself, but in how you learn to direct it. To harness the true power of your imagination, you must learn to control it. This is where the shift begins. In the moment you understand that imagination is not just about creating fantasy, it is about consciously shaping your future. Imagine your life not as it is now, but as you desire it to be. Feel it, touch it, hear it, see it. Create a vivid, detailed picture of your success, of who you are when you've achieved what you desire. But do not stop there. You must live it in your mind with the same intensity, the same certainty, as though it is already manifested. The power of controlled imagination lies not in the fantasy, but in the belief that the future you envision is already real, already on its way to you. This is not about idle wish, it is about mental clarity and focused intent. Every day you must direct your thoughts toward your vision. You must create that vision so clearly that your mind sees it as an undeniable truth. And as you hold that image, As you hold that feeling, your thoughts will begin to align with this is the foundation of creation. The clearer your vision, the more your mind and actions will align with that vision, pulling everything you need toward you. The universe does not respond to mere wishes. It responds to the energy of a mind focused with intent, clarity, and belief. When you learn to control your imagination, you create a blueprint for your reality. Every idea, every thought becomes a building block. You stop waiting for things to happen and begin making them happen, step by step, thought by thought, action by action. You start to realize that the power to shape your life has always been within you, lying dormant, waiting for you to awaken it. The life you want is not out there somewhere, it is here in the images you carry in your mind. Your imagination holds the key to your future, and when you choose to focus it, when you choose to control it, you unlock the power to manifest your dreams. The moment you align your imagination with your purpose, everything begins to change. What was once a distant dream becomes a clear, achievable reality. Your thoughts become your actions, and your actions build the life you desire. So stop letting your imagination drift aimlessly, take control, shape it, create with it, and watch as your mind becomes the architect of your future. The law of definiteness of decision. You've been standing at the crossroads for so long, haven't you? You've felt the weight of every decision pulling at you, and each time you think you're ready, doubt creeps in. The choices seem endless, and each path looks just as uncertain as the next. You want to move forward, but every step feels like a risk. The fear of making the wrong choice keeps you frozen, like a deer in headlights. And in that frozen moment, time slips away, opportunities pass by, dreams fade, and you're left standing still, caught in the trap of indecision. Indecision is a silent killer. It's not loud. It doesn't scream or shout. It simply lingers quietly until one day you look back and realize that it's kept you from living the life you truly want. The truth is, every moment you spend in hesitation, second guessing your decisions, is a moment that chips away at your confidence, at your belief in yourself. The world moves, but you remain stuck, paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong choice. You wonder, what if I choose wrong? What if this isn't the right time? What if I'm not ready? But here's the raw truth you must face. Waiting for the perfect moment will never bring clarity. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only thing that does exist is your ability to make a decision and commit to it. The law of definiteness of decision teaches you that true success doesn't come from endless options. It comes from a resolute, unflinching decision to choose a path, to commit to it, and to walk it with unwavering conviction. The moment you make that decision, the universe begins to respond. Opportunities that once seemed distant begin to present themselves. The fear of making the wrong choice, it fades, replaced by the strength that comes from knowing you have already chosen your direction. The key here is commitment. It's not about knowing all the answers or seeing every step ahead. It's about having the courage to decide even when the road is unclear. When you commit to a path, the world opens up to you in ways you never imagined. The opportunities you need, the lessons you must learn, the people you need to meet, they all begin to flow into your life. But none of this can happen if you keep wavering, if you keep questioning whether or not you're on the right path. The path may be winding, the road may be tough, but your decision is the catalyst that propels you forward. When you decide with clarity, when you choose without hesitation, the universe begins to trust you. It begins to align with your energy and moves in your favor. The hesitation, the second guessing, the fear of making the wrong choice, they lose their grip on you. You stop looking back, stop wondering if there was a better choice. You trust that the decision you've made is the right one because you've committed to it with all your heart. And in that commitment, you find the strength to move mountains. So look at the crossroads in front of you. You've been standing there long enough. The universe is waiting for you to take that first step, to make that decision, to commit with everything you have. Once you do, once you step forward with certainty, everything changes. No more doubt, no more hesitation, just the power that comes from walking the path you've chosen with unwavering resolve, trusting that each step is leading you exactly where you need to go. The law of organized action. You've been moving, haven't you? Running, striving, pushing, doing everything you can to get ahead, but still you find yourself stuck. Despite all the energy, the time, the sacrifices, there's a lingering sense of frustration. The goals seem just out of reach, as if the harder you work, the further they drift. The truth is, you've been taking action, but the actions you've been taking have been scattered, unorganized, and unfocused. They're not aligned with your deepest purpose, and that's why you're not seeing the results you want. This is where many fall short. They think that the key to success is action, any action. They work tirelessly, believing that simply being busy will get them somewhere. But the reality is far more complex. Action alone is not enough. It is the organized action that creates lasting success. The kind of action that is deliberate, purposeful, and in perfect alignment with your vision. When you move without clarity, when you take steps without direction, you're just spinning your wheels. You need more than just activity. You need organized movement that propels you toward your goal with every step you take. Think about it for a moment. You've been searching for a breakthrough. But where is your focus? Are you acting with purpose? Are you developing a plan that brings your desires into reality, step by step? Or are you simply reacting to life, allowing the winds of circumstance to push you wherever they may? There is a power in organized action. It is the key that transforms dreams into reality, the force that turns vision into tangible success. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is the ability to act with intention, to move with a clear sense of direction. Organized action is about more than just making decisions. It's about structuring your actions so that every movement is a building block in the foundation of your future. It means setting clear intentions, knowing exactly what you're working toward, and developing a structured plan that guides you toward that goal. The road ahead may not always be smooth and the path may not always be clear, but when you've created a framework for your actions, when you know why you're doing what you gain the power to push through the obstacle. Each step you take is purposeful, and with each purposeful step, you draw closer to your destination. The law of organized action demands discipline. It calls for focus. It asks you to stop acting from a place of impulse and start acting from a place of intent. You must align your actions with your deepest purpose and allow your faith and imagination to guide you in the right direction. This isn't a haphazard journey. This is a path that you are carving out with every move you make. When your actions are aligned with your purpose, when your purpose is driven by your belief, the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Opportunities that once seemed distant begin to reveal themselves. The doors that were once closed start to swing open, allowing you to walk through them step by step. In this space, action becomes more than just effort. It becomes the very force that shapes your reality. When you move with purpose, when you align your steps with your soul's deepest calling, you become unstoppable. Your purpose leads the way, your faith fuels your journey, and every action you take strengthens your resolve. And as you continue down this path, aligned, intentional, and focused, you'll look back and realize that the struggle wasn't a sign of failure. It was the very force that shaped you into the person you were always meant to become. So take a moment to reflect. Are your actions aligned with your purpose? Are they driven by your deepest beliefs? If not, it's time to shift. Organize your actions, define your purpose, build your plan, and then move forward with unwavering faith, because the world will respond to your commitment. And in the end, you'll find that every step you've taken has led you to a life of fulfillment, purpose, and unstoppable success.